almost like the Flashpoint, where it starts, one of the key matrix lines that will help shatter this status centralized system.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday, June 19th, 2012, and this is Flashpoint Radio. Thank you for joining me. I am your host, Jay-Z, and this is the news from Monday. Was unable to get one recorded and to you yesterday. Better late than never, though, so let's get right to it. We'll start this evening with an article from Reuters out of Israel. Israel rounds up African migrants for deportation. Israel said on Monday it had started rounding up African migrants in the first stage of a controversial emergency plan to intern and deport thousands deemed a threat to the Jewish character of the state. Now, if Iran or Venezuela or China or Russia or any country said that they were going to deport African migrants, black Africans, to maintain the character of the state, they would be branded racist. But not Israel. I'm not saying anything on the issue, but there were some quotes in this article which are a little bit shocking. Apparently, there was a poll put out, and the question was, are Africans a cancer? Well, 52% of Israelis agree. And one woman said, quote, they've come here to rape and steal. And an elderly man said, quote, we should burn them out. Put poison in their food. I've got nothing else to say about that. You make up your own opinion on that. But is Israel the tolerant nation that everyone states they are? Are they the democratic bastion of freedom in the Middle East that everyone says they are? I don't know. Maybe not. It may not be as it seems. Moving back to the United States, from Newsbusters, a case of hypocrisy gone wild, First Lady requires photo ID for her book signings. Voter ID law-hating media failed to note Obama hypocrisy. A week and a half ago, Michelle Obama held a book signing and a meet and greet. And well, if you wanted to attend, you had to submit your Social Security number and show an official photo ID to a Secret Service agent, and then you would be issued a wristband for the event. The event was June 12th. So yes, this administration feels you should be able to vote, which is a right. Vote. You should honor the fact that you can vote. They don't think you should have to show ID to vote. You should just allow to walk up and say, I am this person, Scouts honor. I'll vote for a Democrat, and stamp, you're good to go. But if you want to get a book signed by the president, oh no, background check city. Give me a break. Moving along to her husband, that lovable Barack Obama from Infowars.com from last Friday. It's official, presidency now a dictatorship. Kurt Nimmo details the ways that Barack Obama has trampled the Constitution and turned the office of the presidency into the office of the dictatorship. His newest charge is when he asked or demanded that immigration's Border Patrol and the Department of Justice ignore immigration law and cease to deport young illegal immigrants, mostly Hispanics, who will, when they turn 18, I'm sure, use that voter ID law to vote for a Democrat. Read this article. It goes through the NDAA, the Unconstitutional War, Obamacare, a bunch of treaties that he's done, and all his executive orders that have turned the office of the presidency into a dictatorship. The office, not Barack Obama. Remember, Barack Obama, even if he gets elected this November, will only have 4 more years. But the powers that he has gained, the powers that George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, and all of the presidents before him have gained, yes, they stay with the office. So the next guy becomes a dictator. And then the next guy, continuity of agenda. From ABC News, Maryland man accused of selling bogus energy credits. Don't really give a rat's butt about carbon credits or this fraud case, but this gentleman was selling false carbon credits to companies. And I say, you're an idiot for buying carbon credits. Until I read this. Companies that market petroleum in the United States are being required to produce renewable fuels such as biodiesel made from vegetable oils or purchase credits, known as renewable identification numbers. Wow. I thought your Republican senator and your Republican congressman defeated cap and trade, defeated carbon exchange, carbon credits. Looks like the Environmental Protection Agency, another executive branch, another executive organization, decided to do it outside of the Constitution and Congress. And well, Congress just let them. So, next time your congressman is running for office and says, I fought carbon taxes, I fought cap and trade. No, you didn't. You just fought it on the surface, but then let the dictator rule anyways, which is just as treasonous as what the dictator does. Another agency from the executive branch, the NSA, from Infowars.com. NSA refuses to admit spying on Americans. Senators Ron Wyden and Mark Udall of the Intelligence Oversight Committee once again asked the NSA to divulge how many innocent Americans have had their communications monitored. The NSA responded by saying, quote, NSA leadership agreed that an IG review of the sort suggested would further violate the privacy of U.S. persons. So the initial violation of your privacy is okay, according to the NSA. But telling Congress whose privacy they violated, that would be a violation of privacy. Yeah, I don't understand either. All I know is it's called tyranny, and your congressmen, your senators are allowing it by not arresting the president and all of these treasonous people who are doing things outside of the law. And well, from New York Times, Google getting more requests from democracies to censor. Google states that they've been getting an awful large amount of requests to censor material from their web searches and their services such as YouTube. And the company received more requests for user data from, drumroll please, United States authorities. The number of user removal requests from American authorities jumped 70% from the first to the second half of last year. Things are moving in the right direction. Google received 6,321 requests to turn over information about users from American authorities, though that figure also includes requests from United States government on behalf of other governments with which it has diplomatic agreements. Google's compliance rate in those cases is 93%. So yes, when other governments tell our government to tell Google to censor something in our country, 93% of the time, they do it. Sounds like world government. Sounds like international law trumping our law. Or just our government rolling over and taking it from the rest of the world. But don't fret, you Apple proponents. They're screwing you too. Apple's iOS 6 includes government alerts. Their newest update, software, iOS 6, will include controversial government alerts for emergencies, Amber Alerts. And they say, of course you can turn these off. These are voluntary on the surface. But then, of course, the one thing that's not voluntary, the Office of the Presidency busting into your phone and giving you an alert. That is required. That you cannot turn off. So when Mitt Romney turns the TV on and says, Al-Qaeda's coming down your street, get into the basement, put your guns on the front porch so they can be picked up by FEMA, you better comply. Or they may send the blue shirts from TSA after you. We all know how great they are. From CBS Philly, 7 TSA workers being canned in wake of testing scandal at Philadelphia airport. Yes, it turns out 7 workers paid a supervisor who was in charge of administering a test, an annual test to keep their jobs. They paid him to pass that test. I'm going to take a shot in the dark that it's probably not a very tough test. Therefore, the hiring practices that got these guys their job in the first place is probably what needs to be questioned, not the bribery from these gentlemen. And the fact that they're going to bribe this person, I mean, what kind of people are being hired by our government? Oh yeah, I know, pedophiles and defrocked priests. Yes, just search it. Pedophiles hired by the TSA. Pedophile in supervisory position. Priest removed from Catholic parish, given job with the TSA. Why was he removed? Allegations of pedophilia. But hey, you can't work for the Catholic Church, but you can work for our government. And another TSA story finally to end the show this evening. Woman arrested for groping TSA supervisor. This woman, who used to work for the TSA, was in Florida on her way to her brother's funeral in Cleveland when she received a grope down that she should know went outside of their stated rights or what they were supposed to do. She had her breasts and her vagina groped, pardon my language. And so she called the supervisor over and did it to her. You can find the video in the link below, and I applaud this woman. But she was arrested, detained, missed her flight, and missed her brother's funeral. And now will be charged with a crime. And the TSA characterized the incident as an act of violence. So when they do it to you, it's for your safety. When you do it to them, it's an entirely violent act that must be punished and must be stopped, because dang it, if we don't do this, Al-Qaeda will get you. Wake up, people. The government it's not our government. This is not the government that fought World War II. These are not the people that did anything. This is a illegitimate government run by corporate interests and international banksters. Sorry, it is. We don't live in America anymore, and I refuse to recognize the authority of this government. They are not my government anymore. Join me if you will. Thank you for watching, though. Jay-Z signing off for Flashpoint Radio, saying God bless and keep your eyes.